Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us here for our first episode of our Banghead Science, Technology, Engineering, and Mathematics. Here going forward, now known as STEM. I'm, of course, Gregor Guy, joined here by Mr. Casey and Mr. Cuz. Anyway, I'm going to throw it over to you, Cuz. What do you got for us this week?
Okay, so for science, I have DNA, the most efficient way to splice DNA. A technique that has just been discovered. It's not fully foolproof, but it's the most efficient way to splice genes and cut genomes and whatnot at this point in time.
Are we talking about cloning?
It's not cloning. No,
Okay.
we're not cloning another person. Any questions? Go ahead. I see you digging your head. The gears are grinding.
I'm confused. What exactly does that mean? That they are working on cloning something, or is...
It's not that they're working on cloning someone or cloning anything. It's that they have a better understanding of splicing genes when it comes to basic molecules.
Okay, so more or less like fixing like hereditary issues and so on and so forth, whatnot. Okay.
But it's not 100% because it doesn't work 100%, right? Timing is very, very crucial to this. Like if you can't implement, it's called a what the fuck is it called? Basic editors, right? This is what they call it. You got to have basic editors to edit and splice the genes.
Okay.
But if you're not efficient in the timing, then you might miss the window. In layman's terms.
Okay.
So there's a lot of work to be done with genetic babies and all that, and creating the perfect specimen. But it's not quite there yet.
But that's where they're headed towards.
You're using CRISPR genetic genomes to splice genetics. But if you do not implement that exact technique in a specific time, then you kind of miss your window.
Right.
So they're not there quite yet, but
like I said, that's what they're working towards.
And it may, like if you want to go down the theoretical wormhole, be worse than AI if you want to go down that road.
Well, I don't think we're ever going to get to the point.
Question.
What is a CRISPR genetic genome?
CRISPR genetic genome is a very specific type of DNA that correlates to what kind of genetic is. I'm trying to explain it in layman's terms.
Yeah, please.
So, like your personality, your
basically your traits.
Your traits, yes. So you have like cognitive science. Cognitive science is what people that get that degree are trying to influence AI technology, right? Cognitive science is how the brain works and how to implement it into an AI program, right? Analytics, you name it, right? Like when you get a cognitive science degree, basically you have a STEM degree.
Do you think they want to create
motherfucker.
submissive beings to do the job, to do specific jobs for us? Or like as in like the AI would naturally, that's what is being built and programmed to do? Or do you think that they're actually trying, what do you think their goal would be?
Okay, my question would be
That's
this.
very complex question.
How do we move from gene splicing into AI? Right?
Because they're kind of correlated. There's a very thin line.
Computer code versus, human genetic material?
Yeah.
That's a thin line.
There's a very thin line with that.
Fair enough. Perfect. All right, you're free to continue.
Yeah.
What else you got?
Okay. So, in this whole DNA technique here, there's a lady by the name of Kira Barrientos.
Sounds Latino.
Probably, but we're not going to stereotype here.
Fair enough.
And she's under the supervision of Rahul Kalandi.
Sounds Latino.
No, that sounds Indian. And he's a PhD.
Fair enough.
Alright. So you got a student, basically, being watched by a mentor. And they created a patent for the best technique for DNA genome splicing. I bet.
Yeah.
And it's actually in the new article published by Natural Chemical Biology. So they have this patent by now. So they've obviously tested it at least some degree. But is it the most efficient way? We don't know. Time will tell. It's the most efficient way right now. But they still have a lot of work to do. So basically, like, DNA splicing still kind of in its
Infancy.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, look for perfect babies in the future in 10 years.
Perfect babies. There you go. You heard it here first.
Scientific studies, actually, men like brunettes. That's scientific studies.
Hold on.
These are scientific studies, bro.
Okay. Scientific study.
So,
Science.
And that's why DNA splicing is necessary, people.
Necessary now.
Anyway, STEM.
Science, technology, engineering, and mathematics somehow turned into a conversation of something. All right, well, ladies and gentlemen, there you go. That is the first episode of Banghead Science, Technology, Engineering, and Mathematics. Also, from here on out, referred to as Banghead STEM. I'm joined, of course, by Mr. Cuz, who put that together. Thank you very much. Mr. Casey, I am, of course, Greg or Guy, depending on how you know me. And we will catch you, ladies and gentlemen, next week.